In January 2001, 25 Rotarians, family members, and friends left for Ecuador to undertake a humanitarian project. Although it was not the first time members of the club traveled to see an international project firsthand, it was the first time that a large group had gone to participate in the work of the project. The trip was inspired by late Rotarian Chris Mitchell, who with wife Sandy had traveled to Ecuador to participate in a medical mission. Our project was to assist in the funding and construction of a second water irrigation system for 2 villages located in the Andes in the area of Mount Chimborazo. Travel to our ultimate location was certainly not direct, with a flight to Houston, Houston to Panama City, and then to Ecuador's capital Quito, and then 5 hours by bus to Riobamba. Many of us were wearing only the clothing from the YMCA's Lost and Found, as some of the luggage did not arrive with us. In order to get matching funding from both the district and RI, we needed to partner with a local Rotary club. However, the real promoter on the ground was Tom Walsh, a fellow from Brockville, Ontario, who has made his life's work enhancing the lives of the indigenous in Ecuador. The native people, the Puruhu, are descendants of the Inca, and to look at them today, you would realize that much of their lives are no different than they would have been 300 years ago. They live in one-room mud huts with thatched roofs with no plumbing that not only house the family members but the livestock as well. One village, San Luis, was home to 16 families. The other, San Pablo, had 55 families. The women, still in traditional clothing, cooked on an open fire, grew the crops, and tended the animals. Our task while there was to help move rocks, carry and lay pipe in a gravity-fed irrigation system, the source being a tributary of the Amazon River. At one point, we were working at an elevation of 14,000 feet. Some of us were more fit than others, but we were all humbled watching the women do the same work with a baby strapped to their backs. It was remarkable to think that we had traveled 6,000 miles to work side by side with villagers who had nothing more than what could fit into a 10 by 10 room. Yet we shared fun in the evenings with them entertaining us with the music of their land, while Dennis Tuck and Bob Stewart showed them that anyone can be Elvis. They hosted us for lunches to show their appreciation, and although I am not sure that one of us would ever eat guinea pig again, I do believe that we had some of the best fried chicken ever. What was apparent was that they were giving us their best. Our trip was not without excitement. We seemed to be in the middle of a power struggle between villages that meant that our route to the work site was impeded by huge rocks, making it necessary to either detour or walk. We experienced a flash flood on our afternoon off, which left tremendous damage to the fish farm where hours earlier we had picked up our lunch. That same evening, some of our new friends helped themselves to some libations, and some of us were awakened by gunshots. The project was a simple one, which is what made it a good project. We were not introducing anything foreign to the ways of the people. We were merely enhancing their lives by giving more of what they needed, which was water to grow more food. One had to wonder when we saw computers in a community center that had been built through charitable funding, whether such blatant exposure to the rest of the world would be a positive development. You could only think that this civilization exists in harmony because of the very fragile balance of tradition and limited outside exposure. As with any trip like this, the success is measured by the work accomplished and by the relationships that are forged. One gets to see their friends in a very different way, be it their physical strength or their strength of character. One thing that is for sure is that the memories made are not soon forgotten.